Hello, and today we are looking at the Fender Vintera, or Vintera 60s Mustang, and this one is in 3-colour Sunburst. Now the Mustang, well, was introduced in the 60s, obviously, that's why it's called the 60s Mustang, but it was like a student guitar like the Duosonic and the Music Master. It's part of that body of instruments, and I saw this on eBay and I thought, well, as part of my midlife crisis, I thought I'd check it out, because I'd never tried one. I've tried a Music Master, and the Duosonic and the Music Master are kind of similar. Still got that one there, that one. I thought I'd give it a go. And yeah, it's an interesting instrument, again, because it's got this kind of offset shape. It's got a very interesting tremolo system, which we'll talk about, and a switching system, 2 pickups and a switching system. So yeah, you want specs, because you love the specs. Alder body, gloss polyester finish, maple neck with pal ferro fingerboard. I have treated this fingerboard. There's another video if you want to see how to get this, rather than looking like dusty, nasty pal ferro, into something a little bit more aesthetic, more along the lines of rosewood, even though it's not rosewood, but it is kind of a rosewood. It is complicated. There's a video that you can watch where I treat this. It's fascinating. It's got a scale length of 24 inches, which means it's slightly shorter than a regular guitar. Fingerboard radius of 7¼ inch. I think this is what I have an issue with. Vintage fret size, nut width of 1½ inch, 42 millimeters. I can't. But yeah, it's got a 60C neck shape, 22 frets, synthetic bone. Yes, got 60 single coil pickups, we have a master volume, master tone, and we have these two switches here. When you've got them active in either way, so let me explain. At the moment, they're off. He said they're off. Now, I can't find it. When I do that, that one's on, but that one is off. If I do that, that one's on, and that one is off. And if I do that, they're both on. But if I do this, now they're out of phase. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sounds, 4 tones that you can achieve with it. Yeah, it's got a 6-saddle vintage style Mustang tremolo, and it's all nickel and chrome finished. Plastic jazz bass knobs, and it comes with its own deluxe gig bag. At the moment, these are 10 strings, 10 gauge. Regular slinky if you're Ernie Balls. I'm Ernie Balls. I mean, yeah, I mean, as an instrument itself, I mean, you can't complain. It's got a lovely finish on it, you know, the neck's fine, you know, everything feels nice, and you got these, look at these vintage tuners with the, look, these are plastic, white plastic tuning pegs, you know, to turn. Don't normally get that, they're normally kind of chrome, aren't they? But yeah, I mean, it's a pleasant enough guitar, but I just don't get it. I don't like it. Firstly, there's the neck. Now, it's 7¼ inch radius, and I had a Jazzmaster, which I didn't get on with, but I respected the instrument. But again, I guess I just don't like 7¼ inch radius necks, and the what do they call it, a 60s C style shape. I don't know. I don't know. Just don't like it. And then there's the tones it produces. I just didn't find it a fun instrument to play. It didn't excite me, which is interesting because the Fender Mustang bass I really enjoy, but this, and then. And then there's the Tremolo System. It has this peculiar kind of bar. I don't know if you can see that. And you string the strings under the bar and over the Mustang bridge there. Mustang bridge, nothing wrong with that. But the actual Tremolo System, boy, have I got some issues with this, because it has two bolts that go into the body, and there's a spring that attaches it to the main plate. And I was changing the strings out, and somehow the bolts fell in and come unhooked off of the plate. So I had to take off this entire plate and attach the strings, but attach the springs, sorry, but the spring on this one kept falling off. And it's only because I'd ended up tightening it slightly, and then but if they'd have just made it so there was holes that you could hook the spring onto into the bolt, you know, I guess they can't do that, because you raise and lower the bolt for. But I hate it, and it's a little bit troublesome getting it into tune. Once it settles down, it's fine, but it's not like some guitars where you tune it up and it's in tune, and you stretch the strings and that's fine, and then it settles. This one takes a little bit to settle down, and then there's the arm. I have to have it set like that. If I have it, you can have it so it moves, but then it comes loose and starts flapping around. So there's a bolt in there that you use to tighten this, and it's like, why? All of this is why. And this was meant to be like a student guitar back in the day. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. I like to consider myself an experienced guitar user. You know, I think the only bridge system I haven't come up with is one of those like locking ones. Is it Kayla or whatever? You know, watch those super strats tend to have. You know, the locking with the thing at the top, you know, the locking. I've never tried one of those, never had any interest. Looks overcomplicated. And then there's this, and you go, why? It makes the Jaguar trem and Jazzmaster trem system look, you know, like a walk in the park, because that can be a little bit funny to dial in. But this thing, I did not enjoy it. I hate it, and that's strong words. This is going on eBay. There will be a link in the description of me posting this on eBay, because it has to go. It was an experiment. I wanted to see if I liked it. I do not like it. I see no joy or use in this guitar. Get yourself a Jaguar instead. Get yourself a Jag instead. Short scale, just feels better. Tremolos, but this, horrible. But I like looking at it. I think I like the Sunburst's nice, and I do like the old pick guard. Yeah, it's a nice pick guard, isn't it? No. The old perloid. Look, it catches the light perfectly. But no, I just don't think. Again, it's quite an expensive guitar if you pay for it like first hand. I didn't. I got this second hand, and very good value. And that's why I tried it, because I wasn't going to sell this on and lose money, a lot of money. I was going to sell this on and lose a little bit of money. But yeah, I don't get it as a guitar. Don't get it as a short scale instrument. Again, if this was blocked off, you know, if the tremolo was blocked off, you can block it off if you want. I just again, if you're inexperienced and you change the strings and the posts fall into the body, you're just going to be going, what did you do? You know, let this be a warning. This is a warning. This video is not a review. It's a warning. Avoid the Mustang. Now, there's going to be people in the comments who love the Mustang, and that's great if you can tolerate it. Personally, I'm of the age where pissballing about with overcomplicated tremolo systems like this, no, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. But other than that, you can see why the grungy bands like Nirvana used instruments similar to this, not like this, but no, the Mustangs were. My dog's looking at me. You're right. Did I wake you up? I'm sorry. Go to sleep. Come on. Rock-a-bye, baby, in the treetop. When the bough breaks, the cradle will rock. She's going back to sleep now. You got to just believe me. I could just be having a weird paranoid fantasy that I've got a dog, but I do. She's sitting there looking at me. But she's going back to sleep now. That's it. She's rested her head down and she's having a kip. I get distracted. I get distracted too easily. Yeah, I didn't like it. If you like it, it's great. You can get some good tones out of it, especially the aggressive cutting stuff with the out of phase thing. Again, not had that on guitars before, the phase thing. So that was another reason why I wanted to try it, because you know, I know it can make the pickups kind of sound a bit more brittle, a bit more what's the word? Scratchy. That's not a good word. It's hard to describe sounds, isn't it? So I wanted to give that a try, and yeah, it cuts through. It certainly does. But again, if you get a Jaguar, those things have a choke switch, which does a similar thing. You know. So I prefer the Jag over the Mustang. But you may feel differently. And this is where I pretend to be interested in what you've got to say and say, and if you love the Mustang, please tell me why in the comments below, because frankly I'm baffled by it. You know, I thought it'd be an interesting guitar to try. But again, and even the tremolo, I mean, again, you can't really do much with it. You know, you can just do a little okay, there's not going to be any dive bombing obviously, but it's just so subtle. It's like, why would you even bother? You know, it's like for all that trouble, it's not worth the hassle. So yeah, I hate the Mustang because setting this thing up was a major ball ache. And I like tinkering with guitars, but I didn't enjoy tinkering with this one. But yeah, there you go. So it's the Fender Vintera. It's got, I mean, it is a lovely instrument, but you know, not for me. Short scale, lovely sunbursty finish, lovely pearloid pickguard, power Faro neck. Of course, I've treated it and made it look nicer. It was dusty as as dusty as a Pharaoh's jockstrap when I got to it. It was dry and desiccated and horrible. You can see it in my other video. You can see, you go, God, Darren, that was dry. And I go, yeah, it was dry, but I managed to make it look pretty. But yeah, not for me. Oh, and also the access to the nut, not the nut, the truss rod. Darren, you don't know what you're talking about. I know nothing. Is there, which makes it difficult if you want to adjust it. And this one needs a little tweak. Needs a little bit of a tweak. And neck on, neck off, neck on, neck off, neck on, neck off. And of course, I had to wedge something under there to stop that falling into the guitar once the strings go loose. It could do it, you know. But yeah, it's a lovely instrument, but not for me. Okay, and again, if you're in the future, I would imagine this would have sold on eBay, but I'm going to include a link, and I'll change that link. It won't be for this one. If it's in the future and it's sold, it won't be the link for this. It'll be a link for similar Mustang guitars on eBay, because otherwise it will look weird me going on about a link and there isn't a link there, and you go, Darren, why did you say there's a link and there isn't a link? So if you're watching this early, there's a link for this. And if you're watching this late, there's a link for guitars like this. Alright? Thank you for watching. I hate this guitar. That's rare. That is a rare. I can usually find good in everything. But this one, ugh, not for me. It just feels odd in my hand. It makes my hand hurt. It actually hurts my little pinky. Because I've got trouble with my little pinky, you see. And yeah. So that's that. Thanks for watching. I've been talking about the Fender Vintera 60s Mustang in a beautiful sunburst finish. There you go. It's beautiful. Look at that. Lovely bit of wood. Lovely bit of alder, that. Isn't it? Isn't it? Look at that. Oh, and this one's the 75th one. So hey, 75th anniversary. It means this is 2021 edition, so that's nice. Yeah, and thanks for watching. There's only one more thing left to say, and it's ta-da.